Have you ever wanted to take your cute little dog to work? Well, I'm here to tell you that the research says you should. Hello, my healthy and successful earthlings. Mihaela Raguz here, naturopath and founder of the Natural Health Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the benefits of taking your pet to the workplace. We're going to go through and talk about Aussies and our lovely pets. And then we're going to go into detail and talk about the health benefits that these pets bring to us. And I'm going to give you 3 tips to implement pet therapy successfully at your workplace. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join our health and success oriented community by joining and clicking the newsletter below. Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness to sustainable health in the business hustle space. Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing, business-minded individuals who want to work with their biochemistry to achieve success and optimal health. It's Mondays with Mihaela. That's right, me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Absolutely love, and appreciate your support. On Mondays, I'm here to provide you with simple, savvy, and sustainable health hacks to optimize your health. Let's get straight into today's episode where we're going to be talking about pets. Let's go into and talk about Aussies and their pets. I mean, here in Australia, everyone owns a pet. I mean, when I grew up, I didn't really have a so-called pet. I had a pet, but it came to me. I always say this cat came to me because I was, how old was I? I think I was like 12 or 13, 12, I think. No, actually I was 11. I believe I was 11. And what happened is this cat came at our doorstep, right? It was injured, it couldn't walk, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's take it in. We took it in. It became my first probably pet ever. And I also remember the day that the pet died, which was a horrible day for me, for any kid it would be. But us Aussies, we love pets. If that is a dog, if that is a cat, a turtle, rabbit, fish, some people even have reptiles, snakes, lizards. Some people may have kangaroos in their backyard. Whatever it is, we love our pets. Absolutely love them. There are over 29 million pets in Australia, and we have one of the highest pet ownerships in the world, right? That's something to be pretty proud of here in Australia, because how cute are animals, and they just bring so much joy to us, and they just make us feel all fuzzy and nice. And we'll go into the research soon as to why that happens and how we make the most out of it. It's really interesting because approximately 61% of households in Australia own pets, with dogs being the most of them. The research here that I've got in front of me says that dogs, 40% of people own dogs, and then followed by cats, 27%. So let's set it straight out there. Dogs are better pets. Don't tell anyone. If you have a cat, absolutely love them too, but you need to get yourself a dog. All right, so 64% of pet owners are actually female. This is some statistics, right? 65% of pet owners are from household incomes of $50,000 or more. 70% of those aged 18 to 24 years old are pet owners. So a lot of them are younger individuals who own pets. So let's have a look at this graph here, which is really interesting. It shows here that dogs, most households have dogs, and then cats and fish, birds, small mammals, reptiles, and other pets, right? So interesting. Yes, so dogs, dog owners spend the most, with an estimate average of $1,627 spent per animal each year, right? Cat owners spend estimate about $962 per animal each year. So that's quite interesting. So as you can tell, here in Australia, we love I was going to say dogs, but hey, we love our pets. It's so cute because when you come home from a hard days of work, whatever job you do, you know your pet is there waiting for you. You open the door and there they come, bolting towards you, jumping all over you, licking you, and just saying, hey, I missed you, providing you with that absolutely unconditional love. I mean, your partner, your kids may do the same, but hey, this is different. And if you own a dog or a cat, or there is said a small pet, you know what I'm talking about. They just look into your eyes and they're like, I love you so much, you're the best thing ever, right? So then why wouldn't you want to take that to work, right? If you get it when you come back, why wouldn't you want to take it to work? So let's look at how pet therapy helps your health. Let's get into it. So business professionals are stressed out individuals, always running around trying to finish their never ending to-do list. To-do list never ends, right? You're always like, gotta do this. You're always working either in the business or on the business, right? The only thing that sometimes actually cares for us are our pets, or we believe that. We think, wow, our clients don't really care about us, our customers don't really care about us, but hey, that little cute dog that when you come home absolutely loves you no matter what type of day you had, right? So then you're like, can I take this dog or cat or whatever your pet is into work? So then I get that unconditional love all the time, right? Well, why not? Because workplace stress causes negativity, which can create a tense work environment for employees, right? So even if you're working in an office with a number of individuals, sometimes it could have that tenseness in it, or it can have that negativity in it, or anything along those lines. But if there was, let's say, a cute little puppy there, wouldn't that just brighten things up and make things just absolutely amazing? Or if you're on a phone call to a client who just does your head in, and then you look at that little puppy, you're like, oh my gosh, look how simple life is. They're just there looking at me, wanting a pat. Like, how beautiful, right? Pets in the workplace create benefits for everyone, all co-workers, except those ones that absolutely do not like dogs or cats or whatever you bring in. But that's really rare when we go and talk about how many individuals actually own a pet, right? So while pets have been seen as an employee-only benefit in the past, factors that positively affect employees' collaboration with improved office morale, it reduces absenteeism and increases healthy work-life balance. These are some statistics that have come out from a report, which absolutely blows my mind, right? So companies such as InvestSquare, which is a custom application development company, have been open to pets in their workplace due to their effect on work-life balance. So they know what benefit it brings. So both employers and employees stated it helps them pass long hours at work happily, and the pets remind them to take breaks. How awesome is that? So if you need a little bit of a reminder to take a break, you just go to that cute little puppy and you pat it, or you look at it and go, wow, life is so simple. It just reminds us of how simple life should be. Spending too much time on a project, on a problem with a co-worker can actually inhibit productivity and cause unnecessary stress that's not necessary, which reduces your productivity, reduces your company's productivity and your outcome that you want, right? Pets remind us to pause, step back from whatever it is that we're doing. They remind us to take that breath in and just pat them, look into their cute little eyes and just take that little breath. And the benefit is imagine if you could put a collar on that dog or cat and take it for a bit of a walk, a stroll around. Maybe you can go to your coworker that you've never spoken to before and they have a cat at home and they're like, oh my gosh, I love it. Next thing you know, you're creating these relationships that you would not have otherwise had, or you're creating that movement that you would not have otherwise had. How absolutely amazing is that, right? It's a temporary distraction, allowing us to have a mental break, right? Some people are like, I will get totally distracted if my pet was in the workplace, but that's definitely needs to be, controlled in a way that you become more productive and so forth. So interesting is other companies like ETSC allow pets in the workplace to keep spirits high and add a little comic relief. How beautiful is that? Because we know how funny some dogs are or cats. They're just ditzy and they do something and it just makes you laugh, and then you start a conversation with someone that you would have never spoken about, and it makes you laugh. And we know how good laughter is for the immune system. We know how good laughter is for connection. We know how good connection and building trust with our employees, with our employer, with our co-workers, how important that is, not just for our mental health, but also for the productivity of your business, right? Laughter and positivities are contagious, right? Absolutely contagious. So there comes the benefit of better morale, better communication between individuals because you have something in common. And studies also prove that pets have a calming effect. They also reduce blood pressure, they lower stress, and make employees more productive. So next time you're thinking about how to make your employees more productive, or you're thinking about how you can be a little bit more productive, why not take your pet to work, right? Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? As I am doing this, Kipper, my dog, is literally laying there now. He's asleep, but he's there. He's in the office with me. Most of the times, if he's not, he's outside running amok. But he just brings that little bit of joy and a little bit of, spirit into the office. What the thing is, it just makes you happier, lowers your stress. It creates a comfortable, flexible environment, because sometimes the environments that we're in, a work environment, is so structured and it's so demanding that we forget to take a breath. We forget to take a breath and actually enjoy life a little bit. And having that little reminder, here I am talking about little dogs, so you can bring a little bit of a bigger dog, those big reminders that life is simple and that life is joyful and absolutely beautiful. So the interesting thing is that pets create a teamwork within a workplace and trigger interactions that may not have happened without them before. And when you take your pet for a walk down the road, and all of a sudden you meet this neighbor that's been there for 10 years and you haven't spoken to them, but the only reason why you're talking to them is because they have a really cute dog, right? So that is absolutely amazing, because we know how important communication is and social interaction. Because better communication leads to more trust, right? Which is an absolutely key component of any workplace. You need to have trust, right? We're always wanting to make people trust us. So if we increase our communication with our little pet next to us, we have better communication, we have more trust. Trust and communication also reduce stress, because if we don't trust someone, our stress is through the roof. As soon as we trust someone a bit more, we breathe and we're a bit more relaxed, which also again promotes productivity. And I keep going back to the productivity key because it is key. That is what we're here for as business professionals. We want to be productive. So I'm here to bring you any tool that I can to make you that little bit more productive. And if that means bringing your pet to work, why not, right? Why not? And there's a study that I looked into, right? It's called pet therapy in particular, this study. Really, really interesting. And I'll read from the study, which is accessible if you contact me. So studies have reported that exposure to pet therapy can reduce physiological and subjective stress and anxiety levels. So the aim of this meta-analysis was to examine the efficiency of pet therapy as a method of reducing psychological stress levels and subjective stress and anxiety scores, right? Absolutely interesting. So our results suggest that pet therapy can be an effective program for reducing stress reactivity. So interacting with your dogs can lower your cortisol levels, right? You may have heard about, hormone called cortisol, which releases when we're stressed out, and it's, often coupled with high blood pressure. Over time, these factors can lead to high cholesterol, hypertension, but luckily, reducing stress can be as simple as interacting with a pet, a dog, right? Which significantly lowers cortisol levels and improves your immune system functions. So I'm here talking and saying to you that bringing your pet to work can actually reduce your stress levels, can reduce your blood pressure, can reduce your risk of heart disease, and can increase your immune system. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. So the study found that when people took care of the dogs just for 3 months, they showed significant drops in blood pressure and lower stress, right? So that is absolutely amazing. They also said that they found that there was an improved mood, exercise gone up because you're walking, right? Your stress gone down, you're more social, and they showed us unconditional love. Absolutely love pets for that, right? But now that I've told you for you to be more productive at work, be less stressed, increase your immune system, take your dog to work, let's look into 3 tips to take your pet to work successfully, right? So number 1 is that you want to ensure that your pet is safe. So what I mean is If you own a snake, a reptile, I don't know if it's a good idea to bring that to work, unless it is totally okay with work health and safety. It's in a cage and all those things, but I would kind of stay away from it. So what I'm talking about is make sure that your pet is trained, it's safe, and individuals understand the safety of this pet, right? So that's first, number one, ensure that the pet is safe. Number two is hygiene is very important. Make sure that not only the dog or the cat is clean, but also the humans. Hygiene is absolutely key when it comes to this. Have designated areas for them to go to the toilet, go for a walk, do what they need to do. Make sure they're not chewing all the cables, all those things. So make sure it is a safe environment for the dog, but also for the human. Make sure the hygiene is on point. Number three, make sure everyone's comfortable. Before you put a policy in place or before you bring any pet into your workplace, ensure that all individuals are comfortable, that there was no trauma previously with someone having trauma with a dog or a cat. And this is why it works best in small offices, small environments, where the individuals are also pet owners and they understand pet behavior and so forth. So check in with your HR, work health and safety individuals, with your policies, that it's all good. And look, even if the dog doesn't come to your work, maybe you guys can organize a monthly pet catch up. Everyone brings their pets to work, or once a month someone brings one in. You organize it. But what I'm here to tell you is that pet therapy works and it increases your productivity at work. So there you have it. So next time you think about, should I take my pet to work? Yes, you should, but talk to your employer, and if you are the owner, make sure it's in line with everything that it needs to be in line with. But pets are absolutely amazing. They give us unconditional love, lower our stress, and so forth. So there you have it. If you know someone who would absolutely love this episode, share it with them. And if you want to join a health and success oriented community, click below and join the newsletter, and we will provide you information every Friday, discounts, bonuses, giveaways, latest research, and also links to the latest episodes of the Natural Health Podcast. Thank you for joining us at Natural Podcast, and remember, the missing link between failure and success is your health. Content and information provided here is opinion of Mahela Raguse and is for information purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not intended to provide medical advice or take the place of medical advice or any current treatment you're undertaking. Consult your own medical professionals for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast. It is advised that you consult your doctor or healthcare professional in relation to any health concerns you may be having. Mahela Raguse does not take responsibility for any health consequences which occur from a person listening, viewing, or reading this content. And in the circumstances shall the Natural Podcast, Mahela Raguse, any guests or contributors to the Natural Podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Mahela Raguse be responsible for damages arising from the information provided on the Natural Podcast. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical conditions in either yourself or others. Please note, if you're taking prescription, do not stop your medication or start a new protocol, including but not limited to supplements, diet, lifestyle changes without consulting your doctor or healthcare professional. If you or any person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical advice. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have read or heard on the Natural Podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Neither Mahela Raguse nor the publisher of this content takes responsibility for the possible health consequences of any person or persons reading or listening or following the information in the educational content.